Today we're learning how to find equivalent ratios. So here I have on the screen 2 stars and 4 hearts. So if I'm going to write that as a ratio, get my pen up here, I would write that as a stars to heart ratio of 2 to 4. 2 to 4. Now, in order for me to find an equivalent ratio, I have either the options of multiplying or dividing to get an equivalent ratio. So this number here represents my stars, ST for stars, and this number here represents my hearts. So let's say I wanted to find an equivalent ratio where the stars were only 1. Well, I have to think to myself then, what did I do to the 2 to make it a 1? And the answer is I divided by 2. So whatever I did on this side, I have to do the same operation to this side. 4 divided by 2 is 2. So this is an equivalent ratio. 1 to 2 and 2 to 4 are equivalent. I could also go the other way and get bigger. Let's say I have 16 hearts. How many stars am I going to have? Well, the same thing happens. What did I do to the 4 to make it 16? Or what did I do to the 2 to make it 16? I can ask either one. I'm going to go back to the original one, the 4. What did I do to the 4 to make it a 16? I multiplied by 4. So I have to do the same thing to this side. Multiply by 4, and I get 2 times 4 is 8. And if you look at these, they all remind you, or I hope they remind you, a little bit of fractions. 1/2 is equal to 2/4, which is equal to 8/16. Those are all equal. And these are equal ratios. Very similar facts. Let's try another one. This time, let's try. Get more stars. 4 stars. And nine, 10. So again, we're going to ask the same question. What is the ratio of stars to hearts? So my stars to heart ratio is 4 stars, 2, 3, 6, 9, 10 hearts. What about to the total though? How many are there all together? There are 14 when I count them all up. So this is for stars, this is for hearts, and this is for the total. So my question to you is this ratio in its simplest form? And in order to figure that out, I need to see if there are common factors that 4, 10, and 14 share. Are there factors that go into all 3 of these numbers? And the answer is yes, absolutely. It is the number 2. So I know that I can divide all of these by 2. And when I do that, I get 2 to 5 to 7. That's my simplest form ratio for the number of stars to hearts to the total. So now that I know my simplest form, I want to make another equivalent fraction. Let's say that there are a total of 70 hearts and stars. There's a total of 70. I want to know how many hearts are there going to be, and I want to know how many stars are there going to be. Well, what did I do to the 7 to get to 70? I multiplied by 10. So what do you do to the 5? You multiply by 10, and the 2 multiply by 10. So I get 50 to 20. 20 to 50 to 70. It all works. So now we're going to try one on a different page. Last one. Let's say we have a ratio of 12 to 4. What is the greatest common factor that could go into 12 and 4? It's not 2. 2 works, but it's not the greatest common factor. The greatest common factor is 4. So when I divide both sides by 4, I get 3 to 1 as my simplest form. It's my lowest form for the ratio. What happens when I want to find a missing number to my ratio? Let's say on this side I have a blank, but on this side I have 48. What did I do to the 3 to get to 48? I don't know. So it's 3 times what is 48? That's a division problem. 48 and 3. 3 goes into 4 once. 1 times 3 is 3. 4 minus, that should be a 3. Make that a little bit neater. 4 minus 3 is 1. Bring down the 8s. 3 goes into 18 6 times. 6 times 3 is 18. 0, and I'm done. 16. So this number should be 16. 48/16. Good luck with your homework tonight and finding equivalent ratios.